I forgave him. That's how this story begins. Not with the affair. Not with the lies. But with the quiet decision I made at 2:47 a.m., sitting alone at the edge of our bed, staring at the man I thought I knew curled in sleep, mouth slightly open, like nothing had happened. Malik had told me everything 2 nights before. Or at least everything I asked for. One night. A woman from a work trip. A mistake. A moment of weakness. He cried. I didn't. I listened. I broke. And then I forgave. Because I loved him. Because we had history. Because the idea of throwing it all away felt heavier than the betrayal itself. So we started over. Therapy twice a month. A weekend in Charleston. A new couch we picked out together like it was a symbol of some fresh chapter. We even started talking about trying for a baby. Something we'd put off for years, always waiting for the right time. That right time had finally come. Or so I thought. I made Pinterest boards. Started taking prenatal vitamins. Cut out caffeine. Malik smiled through it all, supportive, calm, saying all the right things. I should have seen the way he never touched the baby books. I should have noticed how he always changed the subject when I mentioned names. But I was too busy patching holes. I was trying so hard to rebuild us that I didn't notice the foundation was gone. Every morning, I woke up before him. Made his coffee. Kissed his cheek. And reminded myself that love was work, and I was willing. But deep down, I was tired. Not from the effort but from the silence. The kind that settles into your bones. The kind that whispers, something is still missing. Still, I kept going. I tracked my cycle. Downloaded apps. Let my body become a schedule, a plan, a mission. I told myself this child would be the proof that we survived. Malik never resisted. He went along with the idea of it. The hope of it. But never once did he lead. And yet I didn't stop. Because love is supposed to be enough. Because I thought if I gave him everything, time, forgiveness, devotion, he'd finally meet me halfway. But marriage, I've learned, isn't a road you walk together. It's a bridge you both have to build. And I was building mine alone. The day everything broke wasn't dramatic. No shouting. No slamming doors. Just a moment. A test result. Another negative. And something in me whispered he's not trying. That's when I booked the appointment. And that's when I started to learn that loving someone doesn't mean you're safe from what they keep in the dark. The doctor was kind. She spoke gently, like someone tiptoeing through broken glass. After 6 months of negative tests, I'd made the appointment alone. Malik said we didn't need it. That stress was the real problem. That these things take time. But time, I was learning, was not always your friend. The tests came back normal. My blood. My hormone levels. Everything aligned. Except reality. So she suggested we test him next. I told her he was reluctant. She raised an eyebrow. Just a fraction. But enough. And that's when I asked the question I didn't know I was holding. Do you have access to his file? She hesitated, then nodded slowly. I was still listed as his emergency contact. Still on the shared insurance. She stepped out. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. When she returned, her face said everything. Jasmine, he had a vasectomy. I blinked. 2 years ago, she added, quietly. 2 years. Right after the affair. Right after therapy. Right after I forgave him and believed we were rebuilding. My hands went numb. My mouth opened, then closed. I couldn't form a sentence. Couldn't scream. Couldn't cry. Just sat there, breathing in betrayal. He had taken away the one future I was clinging to. Quietly. Surgically. Without my consent. I drove home on autopilot. Walked into the kitchen. Saw the calendar on the fridge, the days I'd marked with stars. Ovulation. Hope. Lies. When he came home, I didn't wait. I know, I said. He didn't ask what. Just looked at me. And sat down. I didn't want to bring a child into something broken, he said. Not an apology. Not even regret. Just, logic. Cold and perfect and cruel. You let me try, I whispered. He nodded. I didn't want to hurt you again. My laugh came out cracked. It wasn't funny. It was hollow. Like the womb he made sure would never hold our child. I packed a bag that night. Left the next morning. No note. No fight. People said we grew apart. That I was obsessed. That Malik tried, but I was too focused on motherhood. They didn't know. No one knew. Because betrayal like that doesn't leave bruises. It leaves silence. And the kind of grief no one writes sympathy cards for. I moved in with my cousin the next day. A small apartment above a nail salon. 2 rooms, 1 window, no Malik. I blocked his number. Deleted our photos. Scrubbed the memory of our would-be nursery off the walls of my mind. For a week, I didn't cry. Then one night, I opened my laptop and started to write. I didn't name names. I didn't vent. I told a story. One woman's story. About love. Betrayal. And the invisible scars no one warns you about. I called the blog Loving After Lying. I posted it at 2:14 a.m. and closed the laptop, thinking nothing of it. By morning, there were 30 comments. Then 300. By the end of the week, thousands. Messages from women across the country. He did the same to me. I thought I was the only one. Thank you for saying what I couldn't. A support group reached out. Asked if I'd speak on Zoom. I said yes before I could think too much. My voice shook. My hands trembled. But when I finished, the screen lit up with claps. Women nodded. Cried. Typed things like "You're the voice I didn't know I needed." Malik called once. I didn't answer. He called again a week later. Left a voicemail. Said he understood if I never wanted to see him, but he hoped I was okay. I deleted it. Some ghosts don't deserve a haunting. I wasn't looking for revenge. I wasn't out to ruin him. I was just trying to live again without shame. 1 month later, I walked into an adoption agency. I told them I was ready. Not ready to forget. Not ready to love someone the same way. Just ready to build something no one could take from me. The folder they handed me had a girl's name. 4 years old. Smiling with cautious eyes. The kind of smile that had seen too much, but still dared to hope. I sat with that folder for hours. Held it like it might shatter if I moved too fast. And in that moment, I realized something. I wasn't broken. I was beginning. I wrote one more blog entry that night. I forgave him. Not because he asked. Not because he changed. But because forgiveness is how I set myself free. Forgiveness doesn't mean returning. It doesn't mean silence. And it sure as hell doesn't mean staying. Jasmine lives alone now. A small rental house with chipped paint and wildflowers that grow without permission along the fence line. She writes every morning. Not just blog posts anymore but chapters. A manuscript. A book about the betrayals that don't leave bruises. About the wounds made with silence, absence, and quiet decisions behind closed doors. She calls it, The Weight of What's Not Said. It's not a revenge book. Not a tell-all. It's a mirror for women who keep waking up wondering what part of themselves they gave away trying to be enough. Jasmine doesn't speak of Malik in interviews. But in her private journal, she wrote, "He chose to end what I was still fighting for. Not with words. But with a scalpel. No one knows where Malik is now. Some say he moved north. Others say he never left. But no one's seen him with someone new. No wedding band. No photos. No story." Jasmine never wonders why. Some men don't stop loving. They just stop showing up for it. She doesn't need closure. She needs breath. And space. And a life built on truths she chooses. The little girl in the photo, the one with hesitant eyes, is in her yard now. Laughing. Running in loops around a sprinkler. Her name is Maya. Jasmine watches from the kitchen window. A coffee in one hand. A draft of chapter 12 in the other. She's not sure what motherhood will look like yet. But she's sure of this. She's no longer living inside someone else's lie. She's writing her own story now. And this time, no one edits it but her. Jasmine's story ends with healing. A truth reclaimed. A new beginning chosen. But for Travis from Albany, the ending never came. Because the moment he asked for the truth, his wife disappeared with their children. No note. No warning. No goodbye. Just 2 empty beds. And a 4-year search that led investigators across 3 states. And finally, to a decaying house tucked deep in the woods near the Florida border. In the next episode of 10 True Affair Stories from Georgia, we uncover a case where infidelity was just the beginning. And the lies were only the first thing that vanished. Next, Travis from Albany, she lied about the affair, then vanished with their kids.